So hey guys, it's Keisha here, and today I want to do a video about Marley Twists. Have some in. I put them in about a little over a month ago because I had shoulder surgery. So I knew that I wouldn't be able to lift my arm over my head to like comb it and twist it and do all the crazy wonderful things that we naturals do. So I put Marley Twists in as a protective style to keep everything nice and safe while I heal. They are very close to what feels natural for me, and I wear twists all the time, so this just felt like an extension of what I usually already do with my hair. So I love them and I'm gonna do them again. I think if you're thinking about doing it yourself, they're totally worth it. This video is basically everything I could possibly think of that I came across while having these in. Some of the things that go wrong with Marley Twists might be really useful for some of you guys out there. If I don't cover something and you have a question that comes up, feel free to leave a question down below and I will answer it. That's my breakdown before we get to it. Let's get started. First thing you want to do when preparing to put your Marley Twists in is select some hair. There are a lot of different kinds on the market. I chose this Soft and Silky Afro Natural brand in the color 1. And then I got this Noir brand as well in 1B and 2. This is with the 2. I think this is 2. It might be even lighter. I grabbed a whole bunch of different colors, but it was really cheap, $5.99. I think the other pack was like $3. This is what it looks like when you pull it out of the bag, and they slide out really easily. You don't even have to cut the like elastic that's around it, and they're really shiny. And this is what it looks like, the two different colors that one of the two different colors that I chose. I wanted to show the contrast between the really light color and the darker color. Now I actually in the long run didn't like the lighter color because you see how it just pulls apart really easily, and what I found was that this made for really frizzy twists. Like they just became really poofy and frizzy and looked really messy, so I ended up taking them out over time. Just wanted you to see the difference. It's time for you to start putting them in, but you want to prepare your hair first. You want to start out with freshly washed hair, damp, and if it's not damp, then use a water bottle to spray your hair down so that it has a good amount of moisture in it. This is a protective style, so you want to make sure that it is moisturized as much as possible before you put the twists in. I'm going to use some oil, and I'm going to apply this from the root all the way to the end, and once I've applied that, I'm going to gently comb it out. You can also finger detangle, whatever is preferable for you, and I'm going to grab some Ouidad curling control gel. I use mostly flaxseed gel in general, but I needed something a little stronger. This one does have silicone in it, but I thought it would be great for my hair, and it actually worked out really well. Now I'm going to grab one strand, or I guess one chunk of Marley hair. I'm going to make sure that it's even at the bottom, and then I'm going to separate my hair into two sections. Now I'm parting. There is no rhyme or reason to my parting method, so I just grabbed a good section of hair. And then I put the Marley hair around my natural hair, having it separated into two parts, and then I twist in one direction, and then I twist the other section in the other direction. This is the most common method for putting in Marley Twists so that it looks really natural and there's no separation between your natural hair and the Marley hair. It takes a little time to get used to, and this could take some practice, but once you have it, it goes pretty quickly. It gets a lot easier for you to do. And then you're going to twist it all the way to the end. Twist around the end so that it sticks together, and that's what it looks like when you're done. Now, if you want, you can also use two chunks of hair, and that will give you thicker twists. This time, I'm going to show you a secondary method that I ended up just kind of working out when I was putting them in myself. I'm still separating my hair into two parts, but then I'm going to still twist it away from me, but instead of twisting them both separately, I'm going to pull one aside and then twist the other one. And this just seemed to make it a lot faster. It's the same idea, but it just seemed, for some reason, it just came out so much faster for me. It was a lot more convenient to do it this way. And you can see it's like very clear. It doesn't look like there's any separation. And this is what the different sizes look like. So you've got one with two strands of Marley hair and one with only a single strand. It's time to go to bed. You are going to grab some more water. I like to use a lot of water because you want to make sure your hair is as moisturized as humanly possible. I can't stress it enough. I'm going to smooth this water out all over my hair, grab some more oil once again, and I'm going to take it chunk by chunk. Like, I'm going to try to section them out so that I can get as much on the hair as much as possible, and then doing sections at a time, adding the oil and kind of smoothing them down. I'm going to pull it all to one side, and then I'm going to take an elastic and rise it up so that it's around ear height, and then I'm going to put a secondary elastic nearer to the end. From there, I'm going to grab a satin cap, like a satin cloth for me to sleep on, and I'm going to wrap the hair around my head and then tie the satin cloth over it, and then tying it once in the front and tying it once in the back, and then I'm going to tuck everything under. From there, I'm going to grab a secondary silk cap or cloth, and I'm going to pull it over the front. This time I'm tying from front to back. Before I was tying from back to front. I'm going to tie once in the back and then in the front, and then I'm going to then start to tuck everything in and just make it comfortable so it's easy to sleep with. I'm going to take everything off, and as you can see, I'm going to spray my hair with water, and then I'm going to smooth it on just like I did the night before. And you want to make sure you're getting a lot on the ends as well, because your ends are what's most important, and getting some moisture on the roots. I'm going to then grab Shea Moisture's Thickening Moisture Mist. It's got Yucca and biotin in it, and aloe vera and coconut oil, I think, and some other great stuff. I actually just grabbed it off the shelf because I wasn't sure what to use, but it worked out pretty well. I am smoothing it on my hair just like I did with the oil as well as the water, making sure that I know where, try to pay attention where your ends are, because you're going to want to make sure that you are spraying those ends as much as possible. I have layers, so it's not easy to tell where my ends are. This might even be a little too low down, but you want to try to get your ends as moisturized as possible, and then you're done. I like to wash my hair once a week, and I am a big fan of Shea Moisture, the restorative conditioner. I've been using it for a very long time. I'm going to grab a ramekin, a small bowl, anything you can use to mix some stuff in. I'm going to squeeze about 10 squirts of the conditioner into said ramekin, and then I'm going to grab some filtered water. Grab a spoon, and I'm going to mix this guy up as much as possible. You want to try to blend the conditioner with the water. You're not going to be able to blend it all the way, but you just want to get a little bit of a mix. Once you've done that for a little bit, you're going to add some more water and then a little bit of aloe vera. I'm using Aubreys aloe vera. Love it. Mix it up some more. I'm spraying about 10 sprays of the aloe vera. Again, it's going to be clumpy. That's okay. You just want to break it up a little bit. Pour it into a spray bottle. I do 2 batches of this, and I pour them both into the one spray bottle. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to shake it up as much as possible so that I can blend it a little bit more before applying. I'm then going to grab some cheapy stocking, 99-cent store stocking. I'm going to be using this for my head to protect my roots from getting super frizzy when I'm in the shower. I'm going to use some scissors to cut it and then stretch it out. You might have to do this in a couple different locations. Like myself, I have to, because it is a bit of a trick getting this over my huge noggin. Yeah, it's a challenge every time. So you want to get that on your head as much as you can so that a shower is spraying on your head. It's not going to frizz everything out really badly. Now, pull everything to one side, all of the hair to one side, and then using the conditioner in the spray bottle, you're going to spray your hair. I'm using the same method I used earlier with the oil and the water. I'm spraying and then I'm smoothing everything down, but this time I'm spraying directly to the hair and then smoothing everything down. I'm going to do this in sections all over my head. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to do the same thing on my actual scalp. Now, I'm make-believing I'm in the shower. This would just be so messy to demonstrate in the shower. So imagine I'm in the shower, you sprayed some on the cap, and then you're massaging it all in. Once you're done with that, you're going to rinse everything out. and you can see how drippy this gets. So when you get out of the shower, just use a towel to blot the ends a little bit. Now, I'm trying to make sure it's not where my natural hair ends because I want my natural hair to stay as moisturized as possible. I know I say it a lot, but really as moisturized as possible. So try to focus only on the ends of the Marley hair. There is regular maintenance that you have to do in between washing and the oiling and all of that. If you could see, my root was really frizzy. You're gonna want to try to fix the roots as much as possible. Now the only thing is too, you don't want to leave your Marley Twists in forever and ever without kind of updating them, because as you can see here, they get really tangled. And what gets kind of scary is that you can't tell what's your hair and what's the Marley hair. So then you might end up ripping some of your natural hair, which just kind of freaked me out when I was going through trying to fix it. So honestly, after 2 weeks, I had to go through each one and try to refresh them as much as possible so that it slides out. Like the Marley hair should slide out really easily. If it doesn't, it's going to look a lot like this, where it gets really tangled, it sticks to your hair, and you're going to have to be really patient to try to get those little tangles out. Worst comes to worst, you might have to use some scissors to cut whatever doesn't come out easily, but honestly, if you just spend some time with it, put some oil on it, it should come out easily. Also, the root tends to mat as well if you leave them in for too long, so you want to finger detangle those as well. Oh, shedding. Okay, once you're done finger detangling, you are going to start to experience hair coming out, and it might freak you out a little bit, but the thing is, what you want to keep in mind is that this is hair, especially if you've had your Marley Twists in for like 3 weeks. This is a lot of hair that would normally come out on its own that can't, because the hair is all like bound up. So you're gonna get a lot of hair coming out, and it might be a little alarming. I know for me this year was really stressful, so I'm shedding a little more than I think it would be happening normally. But also keep in mind that the Marley Twists are heavy, especially if you use 2 chunks of hair. And this can add stress to your follicles. So it's something to consider. If you stress your follicles, you might have more shedding than you would normally. So just consider that when thinking about putting the Marley Twists in your hair. And that's all I got, you guys. Hope you liked it. Put everything you could possibly think of in there. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.